Well, howdy, y'all. Y'all hear my voice?
Howdy.
Mosey on in the auditorium, get saddled up for this adventure. Ooh. Ooh. I'm a dead man walking here. That's the least of all my fears. Underneath the water, it's not Alabama clay. Gives my trembling hands away. Ooh, please forgive me, Father. Ain't going back to Barton Hollow. Devil gonna follow me here I go. Won't do me no good washing in the river. Can no preacher man save my soul? Did that full moon force my hand? Oh, that unmarked 100 grand. Ooh, underneath the water. Ooh, please forgive me, Father.
Miles in my bare feet still can't lay me down to sleep. If I die before I wake, I know the Lord my soul won't
Take. I'm a dead man walking. I'm a dead man walking here. Keep walking and running for miles. Keep walking, running for miles. Keep walking and running for miles. Oh, ain't going back to Barton Hollow. Devil gonna follow me, here I go. Won't do me no good washing in the river. Can no preacher man save my soul?
Well, howdy, AC3. How are we doing this morning? I don't know why they trusted me with this. Anyway, I am so glad you are here. If you're a first-time guest with us here today, man, special welcome to you. We just have a really fun thing planned for you guys today, and I think it's going to be super enjoyable for all of you. But there's a few things I wanted to discuss before we go down that route. So how many of you guys go to Costco for the samples? Raise your hands. Just me? Just me? Okay, that's cool. Well, hey, this next Sunday, we're going to have a sample experience of what is one of our best classes that we do here at AC3 called Investigations. And so next Sunday, what you're going to get to do is you're going to take out your phone, you're going to type in questions, they're going to pop up on the screen, and Pastor Rick's going to answer them. And all questions are allowed, just keep them appropriate, okay? I have to say that to my youth students all the time. Anyway, so make sure that they're appropriate. But anything you have on the Bible, Christianity, maybe you're going to try to stump Rick. Maybe you're going to try to stump him. Who knows? But encourage your friends to come check that out. It'll give you a taste of what will happen in weeks to come. And I'm not going to go too deep into that, as Rick will talk about it later. Also, this coming Saturday will be our 1-year celebration of Celebrate Recovery. Yes, yes. And it's been awesome to see what God has done and just see how God has moved in that ministry. And if you've never checked it out, this will be a great time, because I was talking with Mike Perry the other day, and he said it's going to be a party. And I don't know about you, but I like to party. So come check it out. It'll be a great time to celebrate with our team and just all the amazing things that are happening. And the truth is that we've all got hurts, habits, and hang-ups that God is healing in our lives. And that's what it's all about. So highly encourage you. Come check it out next Saturday. Now, like I said, we got a lot of fun things happening today. It's going to be a little dynamic. There's this happening. And I have to go over a few things with you. So this is called a cap gun. In case you haven't heard about it before, it's not real. And it's going to sound like that. Like that. Like that. So you guys will hear that. That's going to happen. Also behind me is a hanging. And if you know anything about the Jesus story, you know that part of the Jesus story can be a bit jarring and can be a bit intense. And we believe that that's something that is needed to be noted. So it's going to be an intense scene. I just want you guys to be emotionally prepared for that. And just know that this is going to bring some heaviness to our hearts. But there is victory in the end. And so, without further ado, I won't ruin it for you. Here we go.
Who taught you how to bailiff?
Oh, am I hurting you, princess?
Hands off, darling. I'm too pretty for you.
I apologize for my brother, sirs. He's always had a bit of an ill temper.
Seemed appropriate for the situation. Boom. Shame we gotta share a cell.
I demand to be put in a different cell. I refuse to share anything with that man.
You share a father, don't you?
A fact I'd rather forget.
Well, listen, the both of you. You don't get to share or demand nothing of nobody. Now, if you two coyotes give us any more trouble, we got 2 holes out back that could use a couple of bodies.
Oh, yeah. You just give me the word, Sheriff. I'll do them right now.
Now, Butch, you know I don't like the cleanup. So don't make us make a mess out of you. Sit down and shut up. Excuse me, sit down. And shut up. Good. I'm glad we have an understanding. Let's go, Butch.
It's your fault.
It's your fault.
How is it my fault?
This entire debacle was your idea. Before you came moseying on back
Here
into
we
my
go.
life, I had a good thing going in my saloon. I had good business. I had good clientele.
Yeah.
I had a good thing.
Yeah, well, doesn't look like much to me.
And what would you know about honest labor?
Well, you know I had a job once. Wasn't really my thing.
I got a good thing going here now. You know how long this took? I told you I'm not risking my life for you anymore.
Yeah, well, what kind of life is this, brother? Serving people drinks day in and day out. Now, you ain't even got a woman to help you out. And I know you're barely keeping the doors open.
Yeah,
now, don't lie to me, Boom.
I'm fine. The business is fine.
Yeah, fine's never been good enough for you.
And what would you know about me, okay? You come in after 5 years, Colton, and you think you know me now.
Listen, I'm your brother.
And I've changed.
You know, I was here last night. You didn't even notice. Must be losing your edge. I watched your work. I saw that look in your eye. You hate these people, Boone. You want to get one over on them because you ain't a slave.
I've given up that life.
Red Forest hasn't. Oh, yeah, I know. Protection racket. Stealing your money. And you just let him get away with it, huh?
There is a price to be paid, Colton. It's the price of doing business.
So the sheriff, everybody's in his pocket?
More like under his boot.
Oh, but you're fine. The business is fine.
And what would you do, Colton? Kill him? You a killer now?
I'm not a killer, brother. I'm a thief. A professional thief. And so are you. At least you were. Once upon a time. But maybe you're right. Maybe you have changed. Now you're the mark.
I'm still breathing. Can you say the same about Cooper? About Boaz? Levi? You know, you're going to end up just like every one of them if you don't straighten out. And I'm not wasting any of my liquor on your account.
Oh, now that's cold, brother. Cold as a winter in Gaul.
Why don't you just go back south, Colton? Ain't no room for scoundrels in these parts.
You could come with me as a rich man.
Oh, I've heard that song and dance before.
You think I want to do this routine the rest of my life? No. One last job. It's big, it's huge, and you're going to like it.
I already don't. But hypothetically, who's the mark?
Red Forest himself. Oh, that's right. We got him dead to rights. You can get all your money back and then some, and some sweet, sweet revenge.
No. You don't got Mayor Forrest, okay? He's got everyone else. You think you can drum up a drunk band of Lily?
Listen, I got a crew, Boone, and they ain't ragtag, more like a den of rattlesnakes, led by one Barabbas.
Barabbas. The Barabbas.
The one and only.
The violent, terrorist, serial killer, suspected cannibal, Barabbas.
Cannibal thing is hearsay.
Are you insane?
Not crazy enough to stick around here wallowing in self-pity and toil till I'm bent over and gray. Now come here. The plan is good and nobody's got to get hurt. You hear tell of this preacher man been come around these parts?
A preacher? I mean, I don't know much about him.
Yeah, well, he's real popular, that one. Every town he goes to, all the townsfolk flock out of their homes and into the fields. Gotta have a silver tongue. But I'm more interested in gold. Over 1,000 gold ori at the Gethsemane National Bank. On the account of one Red Forest. Oh, that's right. He's been hoarding a pretty penny over there. And here's the thing. That preacher man, he's coming here next week. Even the Romans are getting excited. Mayor Forrest himself is going to be there, taking a half legion with him as bodyguards. Keep the peace. That leaves the bank with nothing but a skeleton crew. And what, with all the townsfolk out in the fields to hear the preacher? Well,
it'd be an excellent time to hit the bank. You head out the east side. It's a straight shot. You got a plan for the vote?
Yes, sir. You. And you like the plan. You love the plan. And you hated your station. Well, you were just sitting there skulking around waiting for your older brother to show up and get you out of there. Now, admit it,
If you had just left me alone.
Oh, yeah. What would you have done? Huh?
I would have thought of something.
Oh, yeah?
I was biding my time.
You would have got yourself killed, cracked under the pressure, and flown off the handle.
Yeah, I'm the one who's careful here. You're the powder keg. You're an animal.
You're the one who got us caught. If you hadn't have changed the plan, we'd be halfway to Egypt right now, drinking the whole way.
Your plan was gonna get us caught.
Oh, my plan was flawless, Boone. It was perfect. And you had to screw it all up. We had the muscle, Barabbas, thrown across the land as a killer. Merciless, invincible. Nobody, not even the Roman guard, would try taking him without a legion behind him. We had the Bullet Boys, Clay and Clyde Bullet. Definitely crazy. Arguably boys. Good for keeping eyes out for authorities and not much else, given both of them were twitchy, stupid cowards. And we had me, the face of the outfit. Handsome, charming, incredible fashion sense. And we had you, supposedly the brains.
Now, gentlemen, how old is this dynamite?
Who cares how old it is if it goes boom?
Yeah.
If it's too old, then it starts to sweat nitroglycerin. And that means it starts going boom too early, like in your hands.
Hey, Clay,
Yeah.
is the dynamite sweaty?
I don't know if it's my hands or the sticks.
Well, someone better figure out, because they're massively unstable if they are. Go!
Seems fine.
Shut up, all of you. Y'all just remember the plan?
We robbing the bank.
We know right where the back of the vault is, see? We blow the wall from the outside. Horses right there. We fill up the cart and then we get out of town.
Yeah, it's a quick smash and grab. But you know the guards are gonna come running as soon as they hear that explosion.
That's what the Bullet Boys are for. Boys, you like shooting?
Bang, bang, bang.
Why do you think they call us the Bullet Boys on account of our comprehensive lists?
Bullet, bullet, bullet.
These two freak shows are posted on either side of the building. When the guards come running out, we send them up the river Styx.
What? You said there wouldn't be any killing?
Yeah, hold on that. We're just gonna open fire on them?
Well, seeing as how that's the quickest way you kill a man, yeah.
Well, perhaps, listen, we don't really need that kind of heat, do we?
You know you got yellow belly
No, I've got a better idea.
Oh, really? And I guess this one doesn't involve killing.
You said it yourself. It's a skeleton crew. So, we come in, two different pairs, one right after the other. We pose as patrons. And then we get right up to the guards, put guns in their bellies to a hold up. Nice, simple, and quiet.
And how are we gonna get into the vault?
Oh, I can get into the vault, no problem.
Oh, yeah, no, that's true. Listen, I ain't seen nobody crack a safe like old Boone here.
Too slow. We'll get caught. Trapped inside.
No, it's a skeleton crew, remember? And all the townsfolk in the fields.
You're trying to rob me of my fun?
No, look. An explosion like that, it's gonna attract a lot of attention. Miles around. You think that your horses can outrun a Roman chariot they catch with?
Clay.
Yeah.
Them horses you stole, they any good?
They're upright.
Mostly.
All right. We do it your way. Quiet like. But when someone comes walking in on our work, I'm using that one like a shield.
Why did we change the plan? Why did we have to go? Oh, Boone, we should have kept the plan the same. We should have just blown the damn place up.
You said that he wasn't gonna be there.
Yeah.
No one was gonna. Who could have predicted what was supposed to happen?
We would have
then?
blown it up. The guards couldn't have caught us. They were on foot.
If he was
Even if the
already
horses were
there, they
back
would have been
What?
looking for him already.
Wait. Yeah.
No, we can't
Nah, I just thought I'd leave him out here. Wouldn't want to make you uncomfortable.
No, listen, gentlemen. Please, this man, he's gonna kill us if you leave him in here.
Aw, what a shame.
Now, Butch, we don't want to have to clean up no messes.
Well, you, Sheriff. I guess we could keep the chains on him.
Feel like that's good. Oh, what's that? What's that?
Dear sirs, if you would forgive me a little flattery. Firstly, I'd like to thank you for remaining so cordial and remaining professional throughout. Now, seeing as how I feel I have to advocate for myself, I do declare I pose no threat to these delicate gentlemen. And I swear to uphold a behavior that fits these fine Roman facilities. Now, I do request that you remove my bonds so as I may get more comfortable within your establishment.
You hear that?
I'm downright convinced.
Wait, if you leave him here, he is a terrorist and a serial murderer, and at this point, I'm convinced a cannibal.
Well, he's your problem now. Watch out.
Good luck, boys.
Barabbas. Hey, buddy, you're looking fine. Healthy. You're looking healthy. Those are some nice teeth. Are those new?
Took them from a man who looked at me funny.
Oh, well, they fit your mouth real good.
Simple and quiet. You said simple and quiet.
We thought you got away. How'd you even get caught?
Roman chariot.
Well, now you can blame the Bullet Boys for that one.
I'd rather blame someone who's still living.
But you can't blame us for any of that. No one could have even predicted how that was.
You two. It was your fault. It could have been easy. It could have just rolled away. Oh, but you had to go inside.
You ever have a gin Ricky?
What?
A gin Ricky? It's like a gin fizz, but with a lime in it.
Sir, again, this is a bank, not a saloon. Are you gonna make a deposit or not?
I was just making a small talk. Well, hey, wait a minute now. See those two fellas over there?
Yeah?
Well, they seem pretty shifty, don't you think? So maybe you should get the guard over here to look at those shifty gentlemen, yeah?
Jimmy Jones, can you come on over here?
Jimmy Jones, was it? Oh, that's interesting. Hi, I'm Colton. Nice to meet you. Listen, you see those two shifty gentlemen over there? Well, I got bad news. It's a sticker! It's a sticker!
Everyone down, now!
This here's a holdup. Anybody moves, my buddy Clay here shows you why we're called the Bullet Boys. 'Cause we shoot people. Yeah! 'Cause we shoot people.
Boom! Safe. Now, go. Right.
Say now, hurry up in there. My trigger finger's getting itchy.
Quiet now. Everybody stay calm and nobody needs to get hurt.
Yeah, what he said.
No, you're gonna be all right. I promise.
Oh, that's a pretty big promise for a hostage.
Well, I don't make promises I can't keep.
Oh, so you're in charge now, huh?
Not me, but I speak for him.
Well, what do you know? We got ourselves a preacher man.
At your service. Would you like to confess?
Preacher. Hey, Clyde. Jim, come here. Clyde, The guy.
Yeah, that's him.
That's him.
Yeah, so what?
This is the preacher man. The famous preacher man that's supposed to be on the other side of town, drawing every lawman this side of the Jordan. That guy?
So?
Get out of my face. What are you doing here?
Well, I felt I needed to come, like I needed to do something.
Were you followed?
Well, I lose them most times. Sometimes I succeed.
Boone!
Yeah!
Boone, how's it going over there, brother?
Slow and steady.
Well, can you go fast and steady? Because we got... Hurry up, huh?
Vault like this, you gotta charm it like a woman.
Well, get her drunk, because we need to hurry.
Is there a problem? Do we need to start shooting?
Bang, 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 bang.
No bang, bang. No bang, bang. Everything's fine. Nothing's going wrong.
There's a bunch of soldiers outside.
What you say?
Could have kept that tidbit to yourself.
What you talking about?
It's the preacher man. He's the one they don't like.
You?
Yeah.
Howdy.
You should have said
Me? You're the one who said I got it. I got it.
Bring him out of work.
Come on. Boom. Watch where you go. Get your gun.
Bring him out when you go.
Ah, they're coming in. They're coming in.
Get down. Everybody down. No, it's too soon.
What are you doing there, fella?
It ain't over. These two still have one important decision they gotta make. Can you see to it that these gentlemen get some medical attention?
Oh, they're getting attention, all right. Back to who's go?
It could have been easy, but you had to be careful. Well, I hope you're happy with what you got. Them people ain't dead, but the bullet boys are 6 feet under. Won't matter much. We'll be joining them soon enough.
What?
You didn't know? A heist like that in these parts. That's a hanging.
No, that's not. I didn't even. Guards, please, you gotta come back in here. You gotta let me out. I didn't even need to be there. I don't deserve this. This is all a big mistake.
It can't be.
Happens every time. Condemned men scared of facing death like a man. Like it wasn't the life we all chose. We're criminals. This is how it was always going to end up. And that's why we fight so hard to enjoy the ride.
Oh,
You're the one.
He said there's something that we had to do.
What?
Listen, he saved Boone's life, or I don't know how. I saw him take that shot right to the chest. He should be dead.
Oh, you damn fool. It missed my heart, clearly. I'm fine. A lot of good it does us. We're dead. 'Cause of you. It's all yuck.
It's not supposed to go like this.
Ain't you two a treat? Two brothers, hating each other till the very last. And now we're going to be going to hell together. Now I'm actually looking forward to it.
It's all your fault. You're the one that turned this into a massacre. You're the reason I got shot.
That's the price of doing business.
Barabbas?
Oh, now. I was just getting cozy.
You're free to go.
This some kind of joke?
Wish you were. Town folk got to vote on one criminal be pardoned. You know the tradition.
I don't believe this. Not me.
Came down to you and some rabble-rousing heretic. Apparently they think this cultist is more dangerous than you, Barabbas. Who'd have thunk?
Well. I guess this means I'll be seeing you swinging from the sidelines, boys.
Oh, this can't be real.
And there he is, my savior.
There's no justice. There's no justice.
Oh, there'll be justice, all right. Tomorrow morning, best be praying to whatever God you believe in.
Barabbas! The most low-down, filthy dog ever to walk this green earth. And you, who the hell are you? What the hell could you have done that was so awful? It's you. Boone.
No point.
Boone. No, it's him. It's the preacher man.
Water.
Him. He ruined it. He ruined everything. What are you doing, Colton? Don't help him.
He saved your life.
Bunk! He's killed us. He's killed us both.
He didn't do anything. Oh, God, what did he do to you?
Nothing I didn't expect.
How are you so damn calm? You're getting hanged for nothing.
There's no need to fear.
How can you say that?
I must fall so that you may rise.
Oh, madness. It's madness. I see it now. Now I see. He's insane. He's a heretic. He thinks he's the Messiah. But look at him now. So low. No better than us.
Be quiet.
Oh, great Messiah, covered in filth, heading off to his death, and you buy into this. You think this preacher man's got magic powers? You mark. You're a mark. Shut up! Hey, what are you gonna do, Colton? You gotta kill me. You've done a good job of that already. We're doomed. There's no justice.
No. This is justice for us. We did all of this, you and I. We got away with it for years, Boone. Think we could live happily ever after everything we done. A whole damn lives robbing and stealing and fighting, running from it all since the day we were born. We can't cry foul now, brother. Justice finally caught up, is all. But this man, he didn't do anything wrong. He don't deserve any of this. He's the lamb. Not us.
price must be paid.
Ah, yeah, that's right. Price of doing business.
If you are King of the Jews, then save yourself. Aren't you the Messiah? Save yourself and us!
Do you not fear God, since you're under the same sentence? We are punished justly, for we're getting what our deeds deserve. But this man, he's done nothing wrong. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom.
Truly, I say to you, today you will be with me in paradise.
I am a thief. I am a murderer, walking up this lonely hill. What have I done? I don't remember. No one knows just how I feel. And I know that my time is coming soon. It's been so long, oh, such a long time, since I've lived with peace and rest. Now I am here, my destination. I guess things work for the best. And I know that my time is coming soon. Who is this man? This man beside me, yeah, they call the King of the Jews. No, they don't believe that he's the Messiah, but somehow I know that it's true, yeah. Oh, they laugh at him in mockery, and they beat him till he bleeds. Yeah, there is heaven next to me. The time has come. I'm slowly fading, but I deserve what I receive. Jesus, when you reign in your kingdom, could you please remember me? Oh, he looks at me still holding on, and the tears fall from his eyes, and he says, I'll tell you the truth, son, today. Oh, you will live with me in paradise. And I know that my time is coming soon. Yeah. Oh, yes, it is, Lord. Oh, and I know that my time is coming soon. It's coming soon, Lord. It's coming soon, and I know paradise is coming soon.
Well, good morning and happy Easter, everyone. Let's bow our heads in prayer, and let's talk to God before we take in what we've just seen. God, I pray that the weight of what you have done for us would come clear, and maybe in a new way, Easter 2025. It's never settled on our hearts, perhaps like it is this morning, and I pray that through this all, that your amazing grace, the mercy that you have for each one of us would come clear. In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen. So thinking about what you just saw, have you ever thought about the monumental difference that one decision would have made if you had made it differently in your life? You ever thought about that? There's tons of decisions we make in our lives, absolutely inconsequential. How big of a drink to get at Starbucks, taking a different route home from work or whatever. But then there are the huge decisions, the forks in the road, for which the consequences are just absolutely massive. Where you're going to get educated, what career path you'll take, who you're going to marry, where you'll live, whether you'll have children or not. For example, my wife and I have made the excruciating decision not to have children. So if any of you made a different decision, we can just give us our contact information. We'll drop them off just as soon as tomorrow. It'll just work out. Our excruciating decision, your decision. So two men we talked about today, we've chosen to focus on this Easter 2025. They represent the difference that one critical decision can make. And so let's look at the scene. We've obviously dressed it up in this Western garb, but it is a historical event that happened. Dr. Luke records the scene for us in his gospel, Luke 23, verse 32. Here's how he records it. Two others, both criminals, were led out to be executed with him. That's Jesus. And when they came to a place called the Skull, they nailed Jesus to the cross. And the criminals were also crucified, one on his right and one on his left. So two men died with Jesus. I don't know if you knew that. Well, some people don't know that. They ever seen a scene of the cross? They always see one. There was actually three on that day. And so what's interesting is these two men made radically different decisions about the man on the middle cross. And what's amazing about that is just how similar they were to have made such radically different decisions. Think about the similarities. Now, they weren't brothers. That's the way we painted them this morning. We don't know that. The Bible doesn't give us much about their backstory, but here's what we know. They're both revolutionaries. They're both called thieves. They're both young Jewish men. They both hated the Roman state. They were both under a death sentence. Lots of things are very similar about these two guys. And I'll give you one more similarity that Luke doesn't record in his gospel, but another early witness does. Matthew chapter 27. He says, the leading priests, the teachers of the religious law, and the elders also mocked Jesus. This is on the cross. Even the revolutionaries who were crucified with him ridiculed him in the same way. That is to say, both revolutionaries. So one more similarity. They both ridiculed and mocked the man in the middle cross. That's a lot to be the same about these guys, but despite all that similarity, even right up to their last breath, in the end, they part ways when it comes to a monumental decision about the man in the middle cross. So let's talk about these two guys. So first of all, you have this skeptic criminal. Let's look at him. Luke records, one of the criminals who hung there hurled insults at him. Aren't you the Messiah? Save yourself and us. So the original language goes like this. If you are the Messiah, then save yourself and us. Fascinating. Think about this if-then language. We use this when it comes to religion, don't we? We use it when it comes to our prayer life. We use it when it comes to God, right? It happens quite a bit. Sometimes when we're at a point of desperation, we use if-then language with God. Sometimes it's pleading. Sometimes it's angry. Sometimes we're trying to make a deal. And it goes something like this. If you're real, God, then show yourself to me. If you exist, God, then heal my mother. If you help me, then I will serve you. If you want me to go this way, then send me a sign. See? If-then language. We all use it. And so we turn this if-then language on Christianity in general. We say something like, if Christianity was true, then all Christians would be nicer than they are. If God exists, then why is, yeah, right? So if God exists, then why is he so hidden? If the Bible is true, then it wouldn't say this strange thing or this strange thing that it says. So we have this if-then language, right? And basically the if-then language we use amounts to prove it. That's what it amounts to. If then is prove it language. If you are the Messiah, if you are God's chosen one, if you're the one imbued with authority from on high, then get yourself off this cross. And oh, by the way, me too. If then, prove it with evidence. Give me a sign. That's what we're up against with this criminal. Now, proof seeking, we should say this, is not bad. It's not bad at all. When we honor that around this place, we're rational creatures. I think that every one of the things you hold to be true, like every one of your beliefs, should be grounded. It should be properly grounded with reasons and evidence. I believe that. And so Jesus has a nuanced way, though, when it comes to people who are seeking proof from him. And it happens at several times in his ministry. People come to him with the if-then, if you do this, then this, prove it mentality. And I would say that he divides them up into two camps. And in one camp, you kind of have the group that I would label as the sort of the closed-hearted, the intellectually dishonest. And then in the other camp, you have the open-hearted, the sincere and the open-hearted. So let's talk about that for a second. One example. One time, a guy named John is in prison. And this guy, you've probably heard of him, John the Baptist. He's in prison because he was a herald of Jesus who was growing unpopular at the time, and because he criticized political figures. So he's thrown in the slammer. And he's having a crisis of faith. You know, prison will have a way of doing that to you. Crisis will have a way of bringing you to a crisis of faith. Prison will do that, crisis. Well, so what does he do? What he does is he sends some of his followers. He can't go. He's in prison. He sends some of his followers to Jesus to do what? To ask him a question. And the question is this, are you the one? Are you the Messiah? We've heralded your coming, and we've trumpeted a new kingdom, a new community alive on planet Earth through you. And, you know, we're kind of wondering, John's wondering, are you the one? Or did we bet on the wrong horse? John's having a crisis of faith. And what does he need? He needs some evidence. Are you the one? And so what does Jesus say in response to this seeking of proof by John's disciples? What does he say? Does he say, you go back and you tell John just to believe. Only the faithless seek proof. Something like that. Nope, that's not what he says. He says, go back to John and you tell him all that you have seen and heard. And what did they see and what did they hear? Empirically, what did they take in? What could they establish as evidence? Well, that Jesus was working wonders and miracles, which all the gospel writers record that he did. And by the way, you may be surprised at how many extra biblical texts refer to Jesus as a wonder worker as well. This is just established as the evidence. Jesus There's a reason why he commanded crowds of thousands of people. They flocked to him and they crowded in on him everywhere he went. This is what was established in front of John's disciples. You go back and you tell them what you have seen and heard. Jesus affirms John's desire for evidence. But here's another situation. It just might shock you that it's so different. A different group of people come to Jesus and they demand a sign to prove his authority, to say the things that he's saying. But they were coming with a different heart. So Jesus responds in a very different way. This is now in Matthew chapter 12, verse 39. Jesus says, only an evil and adulterous generation would demand a miraculous sign, but the only sign I will give them is a sign of the prophet Jonah. So what's that reference to Jonah? You probably have at least some knowledge to know what this is about, right? Jonah's the cat who got swallowed by a fish. Remember? And he's in the belly of a fish in the belly of a whale for 3 days, but he comes out alive. So what's Jesus saying? Here's the sign I'm giving you, the sign of Jonah. Just as Jonah was in the belly of a fish for 3 days, the Son of Man will be in the belly of the earth for 3 days. And just as Jonah emerged alive, I will emerge alive out of the ground. That's the sign you get. The sign that I decide to give you, not the sign you demand, the sign that I decide to give you. It's a fascinating interaction because Jesus doesn't dance when asked to dance, but he does give them this one bit of evidence, an evidence that he will lay down, not the one they demand. And what is it? It's the evidence so relevant to what we're celebrating today. It's the evidence of the resurrection. He's saying, here's your sign. The sign is, I take my life back from the dead. There's your sign. And my entire movement will hang on the veracity of that sign. Now, it just so happens you think, well, we're 2,000 years removed, so what are we supposed to do about that? You can investigate that sign. You can investigate. That's an historical claim. And it turns out that the entire Christian faith hangs on that one thread. Prove that sign wrong, and the entire movement is empty. It's vain. That's what the Apostle Paul says. He just picks up what Jesus was laying down here. Disprove the resurrection, disprove Christianity. But here's what happens, and if you look into it, and Alex talked about this class, we offer investigations. This is where we ask these questions. Like, is there any evidence for this stuff? And we explore this, and we get down deep into the meat of it, and you find out this string, if the entire thing hangs on just a string, it's made of really sturdy stuff. And you're just going to be shocked and amazed if you look into it. I hope that you do. The evidence for that sign is surprisingly strong. Well, why such a different response then? So that's what he gives to one set of proof seekers and another set of proof seekers. Well, Jesus knows that open-minded people seek evidence wherever it's available to see if faith is reasonable. But then there's others who demand specific evidence. And why do they do that? Often it's to prove that faith is unreasonable. Set up an unreasonable expectation for an unreasonable sign or my own demand, and then it doesn't happen. See? No evidence. Or we set up a sign that has as its basis selfish motivations. Something like, do this and man, I'm going to get off scot-free. For example, the thief on the cross. Hey, here's a sign. Show us that you're the one by getting off the cross. Oh, by the way, us too, yeah. I mean, you, because, we want to see if you're the Messiah, but also me. Also get me off this cross. As if he deserves to come off the cross, right? It's just a fascinating thing. It goes to his motivation, his larger state of mind. There's no humility in him. There's no real openness. Does he want to know if he's really God's Messiah? Does he want to No. Likewise, what is the state of mind of those leaders who came to Jesus? Well, they had a worldview, a religious worldview, just like you do. And in their worldview, God would not break into history. God would not do that. That just wasn't possible in their worldview situation. And so God would not send himself into the world. Jesus knew then that no amount of evidence will convince people with those kind of preconceptions, those kind of biases. And that brings us to the fundamental problem with signs. Did you know that there's a problem with signs from God? You think, what's the problem with signs? Signs would be like, wouldn't God be all about signs? No, there's a problem with signs. God might give a sign, but if your heart can't accept it, you will interpret that sign in a way that suits your worldview preconceptions. You will. You say, no, Rick, not me. This guy follows the evidence wherever it leads. Really? Okay. Let me give you an illustration about this. Have you ever been to the Redwood Forest? Anybody? Raise your hand if you've been to the Redwood Forest. This is incredible, right? It's an otherworldly experience. There's a reason why George Lucas chose this as sort of like the setting for an alien planet, because you go into that forest and it feels alien. The trees are so huge and they're so old. Well, in the late 1800s, they found this tree, the General Noble, they named it. The General Noble, the largest giant sequoia ever cut down. The trunk was 800 feet in circumference at the bottom. The tree stood over 200 feet tall. It weighed 2 million pounds. It was 3,000 years old. It was a seedling when the house of David first established a monarchy in Israel. Okay, that's when it was a seedling. So the incredibly huge tree was felled. Yeah, what are you going to do with a tree like that? Well, cut it down, obviously. And so they cut it down for display at the 1893 World's Fair in Chicago. And it was hollowed out and transported in 46 sections, some of them weighing over 4 tons apiece on rail car. So they set it up there at the World's Fair, and guess what? The expo visitors didn't believe it was real. Fake news. They didn't believe that was a real tree. So they could touch it, they could hold it, they could see it's bark, it's wood, it's tree. They could come right up to it, look at it with their eyes and touch it with their hands. They said, that's not a real tree. So many people disbelieved that was not a real tree, the thing that they could touch with their hands and see with their eyes, that they called it the California hoax. It's a hoax. It's a hoax, not a real tree. Well, it turns out that is a real tree. Why could they not accept what their eyes saw? Because their view of the world didn't allow for trees to get that big. They just had a worldview where trees don't get that big. So if a tree is that big, that's not a real tree. AC3, listen to me. If your worldview can't accept something like a supernatural event, if your worldview can't accept something, well, then it doesn't matter how much good evidence you get for that thing. You'll just interpret it differently. You'll interpret it through the lenses of your worldview. So my skeptical friend, if there's anybody in this room, I mean, you're just sort of wondering, we don't assume that everybody in this room just kind of buys in to every belief that the Christian faith offers. And we're so glad that you're here. And we get it. We think all of your beliefs should be grounded in good reasons and good evidence. No one wants to believe anything unless they can feel it, taste it, touch it. And for example, I ain't buying the Mariner Kool-Aid this year. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I ain't believing they're going to win a World Series till I have the trophy in my hand. So, there's a lot of things you just don't want to believe until you've got, unbelievably certain evidence. Not all proof-seeking is bad. Jesus knew that. And we think here at AC3 that Christianity is supported by great evidence. That's why we offer this investigations class. And like I said, the curriculum is your questions. So just bring it. And just let's have an intellectually honest exploration of the evidence and see, does this hold water? If some of you say, I can't go to a class at a church. Listen, you get a sampler like Alex's next Sunday. You just, from the audience, from your cell phone, ask your anonymous questions and let's explore the evidence. So seeking proof is good. But some proof seeking is, as Jesus said, let's go back to that verse, adulterous. No, that's a hard word. What does he mean by that? Some proof seeking is faithless. That is to say, it's not done in good faith. Think again about this thief on the cross. What happens if Jesus gives him exactly the evidence he's looking for? Have you thought about that? What happens if Jesus gives him the evidence he's looking for? Well, Jesus has come to die. That is his mission. The Gospels, every single one of them, 35% of all their material relate to 7 days. And then 20% of the material relates to one day, the day that he died. He has come on mission to die. And if Christianity is true, he has done so to save the world. So to answer this guy's sign request nullifies everything he came to do, which is to open up heaven's door to all the guilty for time immemorial. So saving this thief physically means he can never save him spiritually. And friends, that puts a question in front of you. Because sometimes you've asked God for a sign. Oh God, if, then. But could it possibly be that you didn't get the very sign you were asking for because God had something better? He had a bigger plan. There was a mission that you'd had no awareness of, that he had to say no to you to say yes to this larger thing, a better thing than you had in mind. Is it possible? Friend, I think it must be possible. So how can you know if your proof seeking is faithless or not? Simple. One question. Just answer one question. If it could be provided for you compelling evidence that Christianity was true, would you become a Christian? There it is. And what's your answer? You would be blown away how many people answer no. I mean, just you can look at it online. You can watch debates that people have as they're kind of exploring the truthfulness of the Christian worldview. And it comes down to a question. If we could provide compelling evidence, okay, we assume that there is none, but if we could provide compelling evidence that Christianity was true, would you become one? And if your answer is anything but yes, then what you need is not more evidence. What you need is a different heart. Now, that brings us to the other thief on the cross. Despite his mocking of Jesus earlier, Luke records that he had, boom, just a moment of clarity. Despite a lifetime of selfishness and justification for bad decisions, just before the light of his life gets snuffed out, he jumps on that train that he and his buddy have been riding for all their lives, and he just jumps off and makes a startlingly different decision. Luke 23:40. But the other criminal rebuked him. Don't you fear God, he said, since you're under the same sentence? We are punished justly, for we are getting what our deeds deserve, but this man has done nothing wrong. So what is it that comes clear to him in that moment? What's the clarion moment that he has? He has basically two big revelations and then a third that flows from the first two. They are this. First thing, this man is good. He's innocent. This man is good. Second revelation, I'm not. It's really simple. He's good, I'm not. We're stone cold guilty. He's innocent. These are the first two revelations he has. And this is amazing. Because think about whatever momentum had carried him to that cross. In one monumental decision, it turns there in a decision to admit two things. I'm guilty, he's not. And then a third flowing out of that. I'm guilty, he's not. But he could make me not guilty. That's the third revelation. You say, how do we know that? And that's the conclusion he came to. We'll go back to the passage I read earlier. Remember when we first learned that there are 3 people getting crucified, not one? They crucified him there, Luke says, along with the criminals, one on his right, the other on his left. Next verse, Jesus said, Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. Now, if you've heard that before, you've always assumed that he says that to the Roman centurions who are stringing him up on the cross. They're killing him, and he's forgiving them as they're killing him. And you're probably right about that. That's probably who he's directing that at. But who are people within earshot of those words? The 2 people being crucified on the right and on the left. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing. And one of the thieves is just taking this in. And what do you think he's thinking? Who is this guy who takes away sins? Who can forgive sins except God alone? But here he is forgiving the sins of the people committing the worst sin, crucifying the world's only innocent man. And if he can forgive them of that sin, then maybe he could forgive my sin. You say, how do you know? I mean, is that the dawning revelation? We know that's the dawning revelation because of his threefold confession. I'm guilty, he's innocent, but he could declare me not guilty, as he says next. Jesus, remember me. Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom. And how does Jesus respond to that request of faith? Truly, I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise. Oh, can you imagine? Now, what a promise. Now, let's just play it out. Let's say Jesus told the truth. He had authority to claim this man's soul. Yes, a second before he died. Today, you'll be with me in paradise. Now you're in paradise. There you are, and he arrives. Imagine what the angels say. What are you doing here? I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? I don't know. And the angel said, let me get my supervisor. Another angel comes in, says, all right, just a few questions we have to answer, sir. How are you clear on the doctrine of justification by faith. Never heard of that. Never heard of it. Well, how's your Christology? On the two natures of Christ, how are you doing on that? Christoholy, what? No idea. No idea. Well, this is paradise, man. On what basis are you here? And he would say, I'm here because the man in the middle cross said I could come. And that's it. That's all he knew. That's all he had done. He hadn't done anything to deserve it. He couldn't earn it. And if you understand this, friends, it will forever crush two things in your life. Forever. It will crush pride. Because how can you take a boast of your moral accomplishments over somebody else when the price that needed to be paid was nothing less than the blood of the Son of God? Had to be paid for you just as much as the next guy. Well, how can you hang on to your pride in this situation? But equally so, friend, you hang on to your despair. How will you hang on to your despair? You say, I don't know, I got a boatload of iniquity. I'm dragging this thing around like my ball and chain. And how could God ever forgive this? Well, friend, he said to the man strung up next to him for insurrection, probably murder, and thievery, today you'll be with me in paradise. He can have his sins forgiven, but not you. Oh, friend, despair, you have to leave it behind. Because you, yes, you, can be a child of God today. Today, you will be with me in paradise. Well, what I gotta get my act cleaned up. I gotta take a bath before I get this cleansing of forgiveness. No, you do not take a bath before you take a bath. So this is what's offered to him. And friends, Jesus has only two things to say during this ordeal on the cross. Father, forgive them, and truly I say to you, you will be with me in paradise. First thing he says to everybody. He says it to the Roman guards who are killing him. He says it to all the bystanders. He says it to the guy being crucified on his right and on his left. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they're resisting. It's a promise to the world. Mission accomplished. Debt paid. God has established his heart to the world forever. I will forgive any sin. And heaven cannot be earned. So I paid the price. And so this is the statement to the entire world. But friends, there's a difference between promise offered and promise received. And the difference is simply this. Remember me, Jesus. One says that and one does not. Remember me, Jesus. One decision to trust this man, the man in the middle cross. He said I could come. You don't have to earn it because you can't. But he said you can come if the same confession comes out of your heart in your lips. And it goes like this. I'm guilty. He's not. But he could make me not guilty. I just have a story I want to tell you guys. You see this painting of Jesus in the room today. This is painted by Wayne Clinton. For those of you who don't know, Wayne was a savant. He could do anything. He could paint, he could sculpt, he could wire a house, he could build a boat. He made an alien's costume one time that was so authentic and scary that it inspired a Hollywood set designer to offer him a job in LA. But Wayne was also an angry man, a lot of hard living, a lot of hard drinking. He had these huge hands. Remember Wayne? Not a tall man, but just gigantic hands that could make anything. But they were also destructive. He got in a lot of fights. Man, those hands went through walls and people's faces. It's true story. He was once arrested for domestic violence. He was divorced twice. This man died 3 years ago. His once strong, talented body stricken by Lou Gehrig's disease. And on the day he died, he was a spiritual leader in this church. He was a spiritual father to so many children and adults, a teacher, a beloved husband, a father, a mentor, and a friend to hundreds and hundreds of people. And you say, what happened? Friends, the man in the middle cross. The man on the middle cross. There was a day when this brawler, this electrician, this troubled artist looked at Jesus, whom he did not know much about, and he said, I'm guilty. He's not. but he could make me not guilty. And friends, I got to tell you, what would it take for you to make that decision today? Because the same change could come out of your life as you lay down your guilt and take up the declaration over your soul, not guilty. Well, wait a minute, I'm guilty. Yeah, but he's not. And he can declare you not guilty. And so on the day you breathe your last, the promise will be sung over your soul. Today, you will be with me in paradise. Let's pray together. Father in heaven, for every soul here for whom the price that was paid has settled on their heart with a new weight and a new heaviness, draw them now to the incredible grace that's available to them. Today, God, may mercy break free as they say the word, remember me, Jesus. Remember me, Jesus. And oh God, may your peace flood their soul. May they experience the forgiving grace of the Lord Jesus Christ. And may they realize from this moment on, there ain't no grave that has a hold on them. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Friends, I invite you guys to join us in this last song together as we praise Jesus on this holy day. Oh, shame is a prison as cruel as a grave. Shame is a robber and he's come to take my name. Oh, love is my redeemer, lifting me up from the ground. And love is the power where my freedom song is found. There ain't no grave hold my body down. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna rise up out of the ground. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. Oh, fear is a liar with a smooth and velvet tongue. Fear is a tyrant, he's always telling me to run. Oh, love is a resurrection, and love is a trumpet sound. Oh, love is my weapon, I'm gonna take my giants down. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. I said there ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. with me, church. If you walked out of the grave, I'm walking too. If you walked out of the grave, I'm walking too. If you walked out of the grave, I'm walking too. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. When I hear that trumpet sound, I'm gonna rise up out of the ground. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down. There ain't no grave gonna hold my body down.
That's the promise of Easter, that heaven's gates have been opened for all the guilty. And that includes you and me. Yeah, that deserves a hallelujah. So I invite you back next week. Stump the Pastor. That's this guy. Bring all of your questions and maybe a friend or two. Maybe someone who says, you know, I got a friend who just thinks this is wrong about the Christian faith. Bring it, and in an honest dialogue with some good-hearted respect, we're going to have some discovery. It's going to happen next week. All right? We'll see you guys next week. Happy Easter. Enjoy the rest of your day.